Ready for a deep dive into sustainable travel? We're digging into the environmental impact of Global Tourism 2023 report today.
It's packed with some real eye-openers. But don't worry, we're not here to guilt trip anyone.
Right. We just want to unpack the most useful insights for all you travel lovers out there.
Exactly. We'll break down all the data, see how our trips affect the planet, and what's looking promising for the future of travel.
One thing that really struck me was just how big tourism's footprint actually is.
Yeah.
In 2019, before the pandemic shook everything up, global tourism was responsible for 8%.
Wow.
8% of global emissions. That's huge. Makes you realize all those flights, those hotels, it adds up.
It does. It really does. And the report really breaks it down to 5 main areas,
Yeah.
greenhouse gases, how much energy we use, water, air pollution, and all the stuff we have to dig up to build everything.
So, like the whole shebang.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, well, let's start with those greenhouse gases. I mean, how bad is it?
So from 2010 to 2019, tourism emissions went up by about 2.5% every year.
That sounds like a lot.
It is significant, BUT. And here's the interesting part. Emissions intensity actually went down over that same time.
Wait, so like more efficient planes or something?
Exactly. Think of it like a plane carrying more passengers with the same amount of fuel.
So we're getting a little better.
We are, but we've still got a ways to go.
Okay, so less gas guzzler, more like hybrid, but not electric just yet.
That's a great way to put it.
So energy use. 10.6% globally, the report says, and still mostly fossil fuels, especially for transportation.
Yeah, those planes and cruise ships, they're not running on sunshine yet.
Speaking of which, what about water? All those resorts, golf courses? Seems like a lot of water.
You'd think so, right?
Yeah.
But it's actually less impactful compared to the other things we've talked about.
Really?
Yeah, only about 5.8% globally, but a good chunk of that AS from the food.
Oh, right. Got to feed all those hungry travelers.
Exactly. So it all adds up.
Okay, so emissions, energy, water. What about the air we breathe?
Overall, travel pollutes less than the global average.
Okay, that's good.
Except for one thing, nitrogen oxides, mostly from transportation, all those cars, planes, and trains.
Always those darn fossil fuels.
Yeah, for sure.
So transportation is a biggie when it comes to sustainable travel.
Definitely something to think about, but we'll get into solutions later.
Okay, good deal.
One last impact area, material extraction, all the stuff needed to actually build those hotels, roads,
Right, all the behind-the-scenes stuff.
Yep. And that actually shot up by 64% between 2009 and 2019.
64%, that's a crazy jump. Is there any good news in this report, or are we doomed?
Well, there is some good news. The report highlights this promising trend called decoupling.
Decoupling, what's that?
So basically, it's separating tourism growth from its environmental impact.
So more tourism doesn't have to equal more damage.
Exactly. 135 countries actually showed signs of decoupling from 2010 to 2019.
135, wow, so it's possible. Any examples of countries doing this well?
Yeah, actually, the report highlights Estonia as a prime example. Their tourism boomed,
Oh, wow.
but their emissions stayed remarkably stable.
That's amazing how they do that. That's amazing how they do that.
Well, a lot of it comes down to smart policies and planning. For one, they went all in on public transportation.
So getting people out of cars and onto buses and trains.
Exactly. And it's not just for tourists, it's for everyone. Plus, they've been really focusing on energy efficiency and their tourism stuff,
Like hotels and restaurants, that kind of thing.
Yeah, using less energy overall and switching to renewables like solar and wind wherever they can.
So they're really baking sustainability into the whole tourism experience.
Right. It's not just an afterthought. It's part of the plan from the start.
That's awesome. But I'm just one person. I can't exactly change a whole country's policies. So.
Of course, of course. But the report actually has some good tips on what we can do as travelers.
Okay, so what can we do? I'm all ears.
Well, it sleeps with a little research, before you book that flight or hotel.
Due diligence, I like it.
Exactly. Look for certifications like Green Globe or EarthCheck. They show a commitment to sustainability.
So like a seal of approval for eco-friendly travel?
Yep. Also, see if the accommodations are doing things like saving water, supporting the locals, and reducing waste.
Right, because it all adds up.
Exactly.
Okay.
And when you're looking at tours, maybe choose ones that have partnered with environmental groups or have clear policies on sustainability.
So we're talking about aligning our travel choices with our values.
100%. Where you spend your money makes a difference.
It's like that saying, vote with your wallet, but with your passport too. Choosing destinations and companies that are doing things right.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to ask questions. When you're booking, ask about their sustainability efforts.
So, like, encourage more transparency in the industry.
Yep, the more we ask, the more they'll see it matters to us.
Makes sense. It's really eye-opening to think that sustainable travel isn't just about, like, swapping planes for trains or whatever.
Right.
It's more about, like, a shift in how we think about traveling.
You got it. Our travel choices have a ripple effect.
Even small actions,
Yeah.
multiplied by millions of travelers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It all adds up to real change.
It feels like things are starting to change in the travel industry. Speaking of which, the report mentioned sustainable aviation fuels.
Oh, yeah.
What are those exactly? Air travel seems so hard to make eco-friendly.
You're not wrong. Aviation has been tricky, but these fuels offer some hope.
Okay,
They're made from things like used cooking oil or plant waste.
hold on. So planes could run on, like, old French fry oil? That's wild.
It does sound kind of crazy, right?
Mhm.
But it's becoming a reality.
Wow. So we could explore the world without, the guilt trip.
That's the goal. Now, it's still early days for this tech, but it has huge potential.
It feels like we're at this turning point for travel. Like, the choices we make now will really shake the future.
Definitely. And this report is like a wake-up call, not just for travelers, but for everyone.
Yeah, to work together to protect the planet, for ourselves and for future generations.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into this report, any final thoughts, any big takeaways you want to leave with our listeners?
I think the biggest takeaway is that we're not just along for the ride when it comes to sustainable tourism.
We actually have a say in it.
Exactly. Our choices, what we talk about, what we do, it all makes a difference.
Right, like choosing responsible options, speaking up, pushing for change.
Yes. And it's not just about what we do, but talking to our friends and family about it.
Spreading the word.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for anyone listening who's feeling like, okay, this is a lot, where do I even start?
Yeah, it can feel overwhelming.
For sure. My advice, just ask yourself one question before your next trip. How can I make a positive impact with this trip?
That's a good one. Simple but powerful.
Right. It could be choosing a hotel that recycles or a tour that supports the community.
Even small things like packing a reusable water bottle.
Exactly. Everything helps.
It's really about remembering that travel should be a force for good.
100%. It's a privilege to explore the world, and we should do it responsibly.
We're all learning as we go, right? Each trip is a chance to do better.
Absolutely. It's a journey.
Oh, well, there you have it. A deep dive into sustainable travel, all thanks to this insightful report.
The Environmental Impact of Global Tourism 2023. Everyone should check it out.
We've looked at the good, the bad, and hopefully given you the info you need to make better choices when you travel.
Because exploring the world shouldn't mean harming it.
One last thought for you as you plan your next adventure. What if we put as much energy into traveling responsibly as we do into finding the perfect destination? Until next time, happy and sustainable travels, everyone.
Thank you for joining us on this journey through the future of travel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more insights and updates. Visit Tourism, Capturing the Scene of Knowledge, a comprehensive website delivering the latest travel trends and innovations. Accelerate your mastery of the tourism industry, all in one place. Navigate through a vast showcase of comprehensive business-oriented tourism content, 99% pure industry intelligence, and 1% academic, curated for discerning professionals. Why subscribe to Tourism? Capturing the Scene of Knowledge. Make informed decisions. Instantly access key reports and insights from top sources across the tourism industry. No research required. All in one place. Why split your attention? A single subscription gives you easy access to thousands of reports, videos, and infographics just as effortlessly as watching a 30-second ad. Save time with curated searches. Time is money. Let our subscription save you both by delivering valuable insights directly without the endless search. Until next time, happy travels.